But what if I wanted to feel this pain multiple times but in video game form? You see, the Switch has the free app called Pokemon Home where I can transfer my Pokemon in between games easy peasy lemon squeezy. So, let's say hypothetically I opened up a new save file in Pokemon Shining Pearl and decided to take all of my precious, awesome, overleveled Pokemon and jammed it in there. Seems pretty cut and dry, right? Just one-shot everything in my path, no problemo? No, it's not. It's very difficult. It was a rough time. You see, for balancing reasons, Pokemon over a certain level will not listen to you until you have a certain number of gym badges. So let's say hypothetically, I have an entire team of level 70 or so Pokemon and absolutely zero zilch gym badges. Well, they're going to be as cooperative as a drug dealer in a police station who's not a snitch, really good drug dealer. He's the kind of guy you'd want on your back. This means that my team will not listen to anything I tell them to do, essentially making me the world's worst Pokemon trainer. And so my journey began. To start off, I decided to name my character after Pythagorean theorem. This was to psychologically manipulate all of my foes into thinking I was incredibly intelligent. Then I named my rival Stinky. This was to psychologically manipulate myself into thinking my rival was an absolute no brainhead. But when I picked Piplup, he picked Turtwig. So, who's the real winner here? Not me. Also, I named my Piplup Rat Bastard, because we're never going to see him ever again. After receiving the Pokédex, which I totally was 100% planning on completing the entire time, I lied. I went to the nearest PC box to deposit Rat Bastard and get the Pokemon that actually matter. Introducing my shiny Regice from the Galar region. He knows absolutely no Ice-type moves at the moment, but he's trying his hardest. You gotta commend his spirit. Knucklehead the Shiny Gliscor from the Hisui region. I'm not the biggest Gliscor fan, I just wanted to flex my shinies. Gliscor is pretty cool though. Glen the Shiny Gengar. What's that? You don't think he's shiny? Well, guess what? You're wrong. I have two of the world's worst shinies on my team. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. That's what you're gonna do. Omega Onion, the world's coolest Steelix. He really wanted to be an actor when he grew up, but I'm making him fight for his life instead. He's not too happy about this. Gargramadam the Torterra. Don't ask me what Gargramadam means. I have zero idea, and he doesn't either. I just think it sounds really funny. Gargramadam. Also, his favorite color is turquoise. And finally, Salad Lord the Roserade. Salad Lord was not to be truffled with. And just like that, my team of overleveled Pokemon who 90% of the time would not listen to me and probably hate my guts were ready to go. Youngster Tristan was not ready for what was about to hit him. Go get him, sport. Get at him, come on, just a little startling. You can punt that thing across the football field. Go, come on, he's pecking at you and you're not doing anything. He's chipping away at you. Come on. You can easily just pow. I'm really losing faith in here, man. Just go get him. It took Regice 3 whole minutes to take down a singular Starly. And if you think that's bad, it took me 5 whole minutes and 3 separate Pokemon to take down a singular Bidoof. With an overleveled team, simple and small battles like this can stretch on for long periods of time. It's a stalemate until my goobers are like, well, enough is enough, and they take the Bidoof and just go pew! Dramatic reenactment. So, the true challenge isn't the difficulty of using an absurdly overleveled team, no. The challenge is having patience, hence the root beer. It's a coping mechanism. You see, over here is a photo of me taken before I started this challenge, and over here is a photo taken of me after I finished the challenge. I died, but luckily I was able to make it through the first round after 10 whole minutes of mashing the A button non-stop. Walking into the next town, this guy asked me if I was interested in joining any gangs. I said no, I was already a proud member of the Low Gang. Logan Paul has been on the up and up recently, no controversies in sight. I spoke to Stinky and hinted that even Axe body spray wouldn't even be able to help him smell better. Afterwards, a businessman, he He pulled me aside and said I was not allowed to leave town until I find 3 clowns hidden somewhere across the town, and then when I do, I have to answer some trivia questions, and they give me a coupon. The coupon I can exchange for an Apple Watch that the guy would give to me, and with the Apple Watch I'd finally be able to leave town. Some real backwards saw stuff. I don't know. It's weird. I'm 99% sure this is illegal business practice. Then it was time for my first ever rival battle against his 2 Pokémon. Against his 1 Pokémon! Stinky told me not to get cocky as I caved in the skull of his turtle with my own turtle. I guess my Pokémon hates Stinky just as much as I do. That's what he gets for kissing me on the lips, unconsensually at the beginning of the game. In a blind fit of being blind, I ran directly into this Boy Scout's line of sight, thus losing 10 minutes of my time. 10 minutes I will never get back. But that's alright, because we learned from our mistakes. I hope. Listen, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This is a really difficult thing to make a video about. It's literally just me standing there pressing the A button as absolutely nothing happens on screen. But listen, we're on this boat together. Look, I made it to the first gym. Easy peasy. It's gonna be a fun, easy trip. Just keep with me here. Now this Rourke guy is the first gym leader. I mean, come on, look at this quote-unquote team. Each Pokemon only has 3 moves each, and they're all rock type. What's Lear gonna do? Scare my level 70 shiny Regice? Pfft. The only thing that scares him is global warming. You know, all I need is my Steelix to, use double edge on one of his... Alright, well, my Torterra is grass type. That's certainly super effective against... Yikes! This level 12 Onix is folding my team like a 3rd grader's origami class. Turns out, Bind is a really effective move when your whole team is filled with sleeping delinquents. However, I had the exact counter to this move sitting on my team, which is why I sent out Salad Lord, because my hubris has failed me yet again. But, surprise, surprise, I accidentally made a big brain play that I didn't even realize I made. Because the one thing I had completely forgotten and didn't even know existed is that Salad Lord has the ability Poison Point. Salad Lord does not need to attack anyone, because if anyone makes physical contact with the Salad Lord, they die. Which is a very, very useful ability to have on a guy who would rather sit down in the face of danger and do absolutely nothing and die, instead of actually doing anything else about it. So, for the very first gym leader, he used a level 12 Onix, who used Bind to take out 2 level 70 Pokemon, before eventually succumbing to poison and dying. If this isn't foreshadowing, I don't know what is. Licking our wounds of embarrassment from being pretty roughed up by the first gym, I made my way back to that one town, the town with the clowns. Clown Town, that one. It was here that I was greeted with this game's main antagonist. Good old-fashioned Team Plasma. Luckily it was a double battle, and my acquaintance here, Dawn, was able to take care of everything for me. Thanks, Chimchar. Then the professor refused to make direct eye contact with me as he lore dumped onto me, which was very rude and disrespectful. Then I played with some stickers. That's pretty convenient because I also kind of sell some stickers on my sticker shop, which is the link just happens to be in the description. That's pretty cool. While you're at it, you're down there, you can like, you can comment, you can subscribe and tell me about how... What's your favorite root beer? Are you a mug guy? Are you an A&W? I just happen to be drinking A&W, but I like mug too. I mean, root beer's root beer. I'm impartial. Yummy. I successfully managed to dodge and weave all the trainers on this route, and safely made it to the next town where this kind old man gave me a Jirachi that I named Ham Sandwich. I then went to go deal with Team Plasma, euthanizing all of their cats in the process. Now here's a problem. I managed to gaslight myself into thinking Wurmples were poison type, when in reality they're just pure bug. I thought they were bug poison. Now that's bad because my only method of killing things up to this point were to poison them. Poison doesn't work on poison type Pokemon, or steel types. So really, I'm just making this whole ordeal way harder for myself. But then they also have Zubats, which are in fact poison types. I double checked that one. Zubat Pokemon typing. Poison flying, okay. No, I was right. I broke into a windmill and the haircut lady from Legends Arceus was there. You know, usually this cat is terrifying in any other run you do of this game, but when you have an overpowered flower that can one-shot it with a little pizzazz. Not bad. Easiest fight so far. Thinking I was safe from this hiker, I proceeded onto the next route, only to get seen by the hiker. And oh, he has 4 Pokemon. I drank all my root beer, but if I had one in my hand, I'd be taking a sip, out of fear. You know, I have this battle playing at 4 times speed behind me to show you just how much of a process this was. This guy was way more tedious than any other guy that I've ever guided before him. I then entered the Fun Forest, which was great because I had a little buddy with me who would do all the work for me. You're nothing more than a buddy to me. Well, that's all fair until their Pokemon dies, which is very, very common. I then safely made it to my least favorite gym. You see, this is not a puzzle. This is a Where's Waldo. That is not fun. Worst gym. 0 out of 10 Yelp review. It's like trying to find a whale lord in a haystack. There's a whale lord in there and I can't find him. And every time I find a trainer, I have to battle them, which takes another 10 minutes of my time. And it's 5 trainers and then the gym leader. Not fun. And the gym leader was certainly nothing to write home about. Not like my home would care in particular. Bicycle. Then I was a minor. And then I rode my bike on the highway. I went to the ghost gym thinking the ghost gym was the right gym, but it turned out to be the wrong gym. Whoopsie doodles on my part. I put the gym there, but it's not the right gym to go to. So I had my Steelix perform a Broadway musical where he got shunned off the stage, tomatoes thrown at him. It was a really harrowing experience. I then took my shiny Regice out for a walk. He's my little buddy. And then Stinky showed up. My Pokemon hate Stinky just as much as I do. They actually listen to me. So taking down Stinky would be no problemo. Why? Why can he do this? Why is this fellow my biggest threat so far, this little bird? It was a real shame he wasn't immune to my Hyper Beam, but still, he might not have won the battle, but he sent a message, and what a powerful message it was. Once again, my team banded together to take down Stinky, showing that maybe we can get together after all. When I used Earthquake to kill 2 babies and also my Regice, it was then I realized that my team was kind of listening to me a little bit more. After passing by Headaches Anonymous weekly group meetup, I came across a route with a bunch of trainers that liked staring directly ahead of them and not looking in either direction ever. I made it to Meteorite Town where I spent all of the money that I wasn't planning on using on this really cool outfit. I then nimbly dodged all the trainers in the fighting type gym except for the ones that I didn't nimbly dodge. Oh well, nothing my ghost type Glen couldn't handle. When it came down to beating the actual gym leader, Glen did not hesitate to beat her Pokemon in as few turns as possible. I leave and am greeted by Dawn, who idiotically fumbled her Pokédex. Wow, real responsible there, Dawn. I left without bothering to help her. I made my way through the next round, only having to battle 1 trainer. That's a big win in my book. The Foot Fetish Man investigated my Gengar's feet, which was really weird, but you do you, Foot Fetish Man. Thanks for the cute feet ribbon, you weirdo. One weird thing I noticed when looking over all of the footage is that every time that there was one of those berry patches that you pick berries from, I'd always take all of the berries, but never have I ever used a single one of those berries. So I picked up and I took my hundreds of berries with me over to the next gym. And this one by far was the most difficult gym of them all. And it was because of one man. One very powerful Pokemon master. And his name was Sailor Samson. Let me explain. Now this is Sailor Samson's team. It consists of 2 Shellos, 1 for each sea, and a singular Wingull. West Shellos knows Water Pulse, which has a high chance of confusing my Pokemon. So on the off chance that they do actually listen to me, they have an even more off chance to punch themselves in the face. That alone was enough to kill my Gengar. My plan then was to lay down some poison damage using Poison Point. Except Wingull knows Hydration, which means when it rains, it cures itself of all status conditions. So that plan was immediately picked up, put into a nicely, this is a really good box, and just kind of out the window. Out of the window it goes. Wingull also knows Water Pulse, And it knows U-turn, so it U-turned to switch out so its other Shellos could set up more rain, so when it comes back, no poison. But the other Shellos was sent out and just died, so once that Wingull came back out, I had to mash the A button for another 5 minutes while my Pokemon sat there, did absolutely nothing, and was like, you know what, maybe I should do something. Ooh! Yikes! Ooh, I punched myself in the face. That battle against Sailor Samson lasted 15 entire minutes. Tough battle. That was by far the most difficult and annoying battle in the entire run. I need more root beer. And what makes me even angry is right after this battle is the battle against Crash Wake. First off, what is that pose? I don't get it. I soloed his whole team with just Torterra in about 3-ish minutes. Sailor Samson was more difficult than the goofy shirtless man by a large margin. I became the Poketch for a bit, making it a true Let's Play, and then went to go help Dawn get her stupid little Pokedex back, because apparently she couldn't do it on her own! I then wandered around Team Plasma headquarters for about 10 minutes before realizing whoopsie doodles I was in the wrong place. I had to talk to this Team Plasma grunt and follow him all the way back to the lake. Which, during my pursuit, I got interrupted by Stinky. Very inappropriate timing on his end, and I do not appreciate his existence. Or the existence of a Starly that still knows Endeavor. That little thing still terrifies me. Shakes me to my core. I follow the Team Plasma grunt all the way to the lake where I slaughter his Pokemon right in front of him. This lady that I forgot to mention before, don't worry, she's important for later. She just gives me ibuprofen. I question her ethics on giving a little kid some drugs, but then she mentions, oh, you know, you gotta give it to that dog pile of Psyducks on that one route, and I'm like, okay, well that makes sense, but what's stopping me from just, like, pills? Which I go do that, and then she comes by and thanks me for drugging up those wild ducks. Then I made it to the most difficult roadblock in the entire game, this incredibly foggy route where you can't see anything. Which you can try to brute force your way through, except when I tried I ran into a ninja and he beat me up. So, I'm going to read the list of what you actually need to do in this game, okay? To actually know where you're going, you have to fly to the Safari Zone, pay $500 in cash to get into the place, and make a big left turn to the entrance and talk to this one specific trainer, easy to miss. And he will give you the TM for defog. How did I find out how to do all these? I had to Google it. This right here. This? Bad game idea. This made me irrationally angry for no reason. Then I went down the route with the unavoidable and also very well hidden trainers. I will let you know now that the Seb's fun meter is probably at a 30 right now out of 100. And that's not optimal at all. After nearly caving in my own skull, I made it to the nice quaint old town. A Team Plasma grunt ran into the town and was like, I have a bomb! I have a bomb, I'm gonna blow this place sky high! Bomb threats are real in the Pokemon universe. Write that down, that is canon. So I left the town before the situation got dire, and then I took Steelix to a beauty pageant. And he won! Steelix won the beauty pageant. I went to the Ghost Gym where they made me do math equations, because nothing is more terrifying than having to do math. But thank the Arceus that they gave me a built-in calculator in the video game. Ignore the fact that I still went through the wrong door at the end of the day, but I didn't get it wrong, that was Riley's fault, not mine. The gym leader was easy, it was just another Glen sweep. I swam to the next town and met my rival, Stinky, the world's worst person. He evolved his Starly and it no longer knows Endeavor. You fool. If only my fingers would crack to show how intimidating and how stupid you are. That would be really impressive, but I cracked them beforehand. It's just really satisfying. I waltzed into the Steel Gym where they used the weirdest Steel Pokemon. I don't remember Scorpion being a Steel Pokemon, but, you know, anything goes. And I knew Onyx evolved into a Steel type, but I didn't know it was already a Steel type. And also, Azumarill. Now, the Steel Gym is scary because my Poison Pokemon don't work. And also a large majority of my team is weak to steel types. My big brain counter was to use Knucklehead. He can fly and that's cool. Knucklehead also knows Guillotine, which is a one-shot kill move, and that's pretty funny. His son was more difficult than him personally, and after a quick Google research I realized that this guy was this guy's dad. That blew my mind. That was kind of cool. And to celebrate my victory, I played with some stickers. I got invited to a library where we watched a lake explode. You know, I mean, it was cool until the old guy told me to go check out every single lake. That was some bad filler. So I went to the next gym instead. Screw you, old man! You know, I couldn't really remember anything about the gym. Like, what the Pokémon were, or what the leader had, or what her name even was.
I don't know. Ice Lady Veronica. I don't know. Probably. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, hold on. We're talking Ice Gem? Candace.
Candace, dick in your mouth! And it was all fun and games until he slandered me publicly on Twitter, which was rude and I do not appreciate it. I then ran through all of Team Plasma's base, throat-chopping everyone in the throat specifically, and then made my way to their leader, who was just that one guy without a nose. His little Murkrow was in Gen 9 competitively viable, so I made quick work of it. Easy battle. He gave me the Master Ball, which is a weird thing to give a little guy who's trying to take down your crime organization, but you know what? A free Master Ball, I'm not going to complain personally. He then also told me the exact point in time he was going to go and, you know, collect the God of Space to end the world, which was an oopsie-doopsie on his part. This guy is the worst evil guy of all guys ever. He sucks. I then spent 20 minutes trying to figure out how to navigate a cave, and I was lost for 6 of those minutes. Not my proudest moment. Stinky then joined me for a double battle against 2 of Team Plasma's greatest people. I chuckled greatly when all of Stinky's Pokemon were massacred vigorously in front of him, while mine were still A-okay. Then I fought the no-nose guy, who grew a nose! I guess you can change as a person. This team didn't stand a chance. I named him Pumpernickel. With all that story stuff over, I made my way to the final gym. My team, now including Pumpernickel, they were all beginning to warm up to me. They still weren't listening to me at this point. I mean, come on. It's kind of the whole point of the challenge, but, you know, you could feel the growth and bonds of friendship and stuff, you know, that cheesy jizz. And with that, we began our trek to the 8th and final gym, and really the final challenge of this challenge. I mean, at that point, all my Pokemon started listening to me. And I'll go from being the world's worst Pokemon trainer to the world's most adequate Pokemon trainer. And that, to me, sounds like it could be a really cool mug. The final gym leader was the Electric Gym, and it just so happened I have on my goofy guy person 2 Ground-type Pokemon. It was Onion and Knucklehead's time to shine. Ground types are for losers! Pfft, go get him, Gengar! And just like that, I received the final gym badge, thus invalidating the entire run. My team listens to me now. There's really no point in continuing. I mean, now I won't have to sit in a battle and spam the A button for 7 minutes. Where's the content value in that? Run's dead, guys. Calling it here. Yikes. Alright, fine. I'll challenge the Elite Four. I received the TM for Waterfall by the T's for the Gen 2 remakes. I'm so excited for when those come out on the Switch. I made my way through Victory Road, absolutely obliterating any and all trainers in my wake with an overleveled team that now listens to me. Then I was ready for the Elite Four. Okay, that wasn't fair. The fire guy did not use fire Pokemon. I call cheats. I then realized the flaw I made in my team and swapped out Pumpernickel for Salad Lord. I knew it was Salad Lord's time to shine. Aaron, the bug guy, was literally using Pokemon that you find on the first route. He was easy to beat mercilessly. Next was the old ground lady, whose entire team got swept by my Torterra that knew Giga Drain. The biggest threat in that room to me was her arthritis. Then came the rematch with the fire guy. I took out the first 3 of his Pokemon with Knucklehead's Earthquake. Then when the Drifblim came out, I used Glen Shadow Ball. The Gengar Rose Raid combo was enough to take care of the Psychic gym leader, who I forgot existed. Psychic of all types, really? Not like, could have picked Dark. Dark is way cooler. Dark is a cool type. And then, the moment we've all been waiting for. The battle against the champion. Ugh. Well then. I guess I was the world's most adequate Pokemon trainer after all. And yeah, that's how the story ends. I just gave up. I didn't want to do that again. I put my team back in Pokemon Home and left. Pumpernickels, Ham Sandwich, and Rat Bastard are currently sitting alone in my Shining Pearl save, waiting for me to boot that up whenever. I put my team back with all my other favorite Pokemon, and then kind of sat there staring for a little bit. And then I let out a chuckle. My patience didn't run thin until the very end. At the point where my team actually listened to me. I sat there and I just... My alarm! Oh no! I left my cookies in for too long. I had entire battles where I sat there for 10 minutes mashing the A button until my finger hurt. But I drew the line at a Garchomp, sweeping my entire team. Knowing that I did not break earlier was a feat enough for me.
Stop with the reflexes. You agreed to this.
I did agree to this.
3, 2, 1.
Mental turmoil.
So fair, I wanted a shot.